Hello everyone and welcome back to Friday Night Magic with Kurisumon. This week we are back on Magic the Gathering Arena and we are loading up this standard Goblin list. Now most of my playtesting has shown me that cards like Skirk Prospector are not good enough. Also the Goblin Warchief. The Warchief was really good back in the Onslaught block when you could turbo out things like Goblin Piledriver and give it haste. We don't have such a card in this format, and this Goblin list wants to play a little more kind of like Legacy Goblins, where it's going to control the board a little bit. It does have the ability to go wide with cards like Goblin Instigator and Legion Warboss, and so you can have explosive draws with it, but it really does kind of want to just control the board and win off of its better creatures. For the sake of that, we have forgone the Skirk Prospectors and are playing Fanatical Firebrand instead. It's just a better kind of one-drop in this deck that not only can get aggressive in itself, but can also pick off opposing creatures such as Llanowar Elves and the like. Then we have Goblin Cratermaker, which is another form of creature control that we can use on the board. Then our Go Wide spells in Goblin Instigator and Legion Warboss, and Siege Gang Commander. Then to top it all off, we have Goblin Trashmaster, which pumps all of our goblins, Volley Veteran, which does a nice job of cleaning up just about any creature on the other side as long as we have enough goblins, and the Chain Whirler, which has been a standard all-star since its debut. For the spells, just fighting fire with fire, we have 2 Shocks, 3 Lightning Strikes, and 2 Fight with Fire. I was unsure about all the lists that played Fight with Fire when I first started playing this deck, but it has proven to be a pretty good all-star and is just necessary for those times when you just have to kill Lyra. The deck plays 24 Mountains, which again is a telltale sign that is not a true aggro deck. It is more of a mid-range board control deck that can go wide and aggressive if it needs to. The sideboard is still a work in progress as the metagame starts to adapt and change to different things. Right now we're just kind of upping the burn package. We have 2 more Shocks and a Lightning Strike, another Goblin Cratermaker, and 2 Lava Coils to act as creature removal. And then we have 3 The Flame of Keld, which acts as a lot of card draw against more controlling decks, Active Treasons against those big green beefy decks, another Fight with Fire, Squee the Immortal for those control matchups again, and Rekindling Phoenix, even though it's not a goblin, is really good at blocking against those really aggressive decks and coming back, and also just coming back against control. So, having said all that, let's go ahead and load this up and see how we do. Alright, so with this hand we don't have anything until turn 3. We don't really want our first play to be Legion Warboss, because Legion Warboss is better when they're already kind of on the back foot. Goblin Chain Whirler and Fight with Fire do a nice job of cleaning things up, and Goblin Trashmaster and Siege Gang Commander are great top-ends. I would much rather have a turn 1 or 2 play somewhere in here, and right now we can't actually cast any of our spells with the 2 lands we have in play. So let's go ahead and throw this one back and see what we get. Alright, so now we have 2 lands again, but now we have a Fanatical Firebrand, and it's pretty much the same hand minus the Trashmaster. So let's keep this, and I think we're going to keep that Instigator on top as well. So either we're up against another mono red goblin deck or mono red aggro deck. So we'll just go ahead and play it on a mountain in our own Firebrand and attack back. From my testing, the person who goes first in this matchup, if it is a Goblin versus Goblin matchup, nope, looks like they're more just the mono red aggro deck. But either way, the person who goes first has a huge advantage. Unless you can catch them with a Chain Whirler, which right now we have them pretty good if we can draw 1 more land. Looks like they're going to go ahead and kill our Firebrand, which I am fine with. That's 1 less damage to our face. So let's go ahead and get this Instigator out there. Alright, so there is another Firebrand. And they decided to not do anything. So I think we're going to Chain Whirler. They're going to kill one of our goblins. Yep, they're going to kill the Instigator. We're going to get our Chain Whirler in there. Alright, so Chain Whirler clears the board. Let's move to attacks. And they have a Lightning Strike for our Chain Whirler, which is also fine. They keep depleting their resources, and eventually we're just going to outcard them with these things. I'm going to take 4. I don't want them drawing 3 fresh cards. Alright, so there's a Firebrand. I think we're going to get this War Boss online now. So there is another Lightning Strike on our War Boss. We're going to attack for 2. Go ahead and play this Chain Whirler here. Just keep trying to apply pressure as much as we can. Alright, Experimental Frenzy is really good. It's very, very difficult to outrace it. We still haven't drawn a 4th land, but this War Boss will do just nicely. Puts a 2-turn clock on our opponent here. They have to do something pretty special next turn to get out of this. So they have 4 untapped lands. They can't play anything in their hand. They're going to Lightning Strike the War Boss. And we will... Oh, nope, they decided that they can't beat it. So we take the first game here. Alright, so here we are with this hand. It's a pretty good hand. We have a turn 1 play, turn 2 play, turn 3 play, and something to clean up the board, and we can play everything in our hand. So this is definitely a keep. Alright, so we'll play Mountain and Firebrand. We'll go ahead and get in there for 1. And pass to our opponent. Alright, turn 2. I think we're just going to go ahead and attack again. And we have the choice of Crater Maker or Instigator. If we're playing against a control deck, I kind of want to go wide. So we'll play out the Instigator here. Alright, so now we have a choice to make. We can play out the War Boss, but they might have a Syncopate or an Essence Scatter. We can play out the Goblin Crater Maker, or we can just hold back Lightning Strike. I think I want to test them for counterspells, so the War Boss just needs to go. Try to jam there. Yep, there's the Essence Scatter. Alright, so that gets countered, and we're still going to get in for 3. And we'll just pass back. Alright, so our opponent's not doing too much, although we don't have much going on either. Right now we just have to attack. There is a Merfolk Trickster. We'll let that resolve. And then we'll Lightning Strike it in response. And still get in for 3. Alright, so we're not up against a control deck. This is the mono blue aggro deck, which we should have a pretty good game against. Let's go ahead and get one of these Trash Masters out there if we can. We'll probably have a Wizard's Retort here. Nope, it gets in there. Alright, so let's attack. There's a Merfolk Trickster. So they tapped our Trashmaster, and now we're going to lose 2 creatures to their 1. Because the Trashmaster lost its... Oh, so now they have a double Curious Obsession. They're going to draw 2 cards off of this. We're ahead in the damage race, and we're about to play another Trashmaster. Alright, so there's a Chart of Course. Alright. So let's definitely play this other Trashmaster here and attack for 7. Alright, so they're still going to swing with their 4/4. Drawing 2 cards is worth the crackback to them, I guess. Alright, so they're going to Chart a Course, drawing lots and lots of cards. There's a Siren Storm Tamer and a Night Veil Sprite. Alright, let's... And we will... try to kill this Night Veil Sprite. They can sack the Storm Tamer to save it, but I guess it doesn't really matter. They're blocking either way. And now they go to 1. And now anything as simple as one of our burn spells or a Goblin Chain Whirler should do the job. Barring anything crazy here. Yep, they're still drawing lots of cards. They have to deal with 3 creatures on the board right now. There's a Tempest Djinn. Alright, I don't really know. Maybe they have some more Merfolk Tricksters. We can't beat the Tempest Djinn. 1 more island and it's lethal anyway. So I think we just have to attack. And we got there. Alright, so this hand is a little bit slow. We have no turn 1 play. Our turn 2 play is a Crater Maker, so we aren't on the go wide strategy. And then with Fight with Fire, Lightning Strike, and Chain Whirler, these are more cleanup cards so to go along with a Crater Maker. So this is definitely more of a controlling hand, but I don't think a 6-card hand would get much better. We do have to draw at least a land to turn on most of our hand, but I think it's going to be okay. And even with 2 lands, we still can play 2 spells in our hand. Siege Gang is not what we wanted to see there. We'll go ahead and play out this Crater Maker. Alright, so now we definitely want to land. Alright, so there's a Thorn Lieutenant. We don't have much going on this turn. We have to Lightning Strike this. It does give them 1. But we can attack through that. And it keeps this 2/3 body off the floor. Steel Leaf Champion is pretty bad. If we hopefully draw a land here, we can Fight with Fire. There we go. That works. And we just keep getting in there. There is a Vine Mare. So this turn, if we Goblin Chain Whirler, that actually keeps the Vine Mare at bay, as long as they don't equip it up with some sort of pump enchantment. And the Chain Whirler also cleans up the token. We can even attack through the Vine Mare this turn because of the Chain Whirler. So we just will keep applying pressure and hope it all works out. Alright, so there's a harpooner. And a Galta. Galta is just too good. Like, not many things in red can deal with 12 toughness and 12 power. And it takes a lot to get through it. Let's Siege Gang Commander here. And we'll pass back without attacking. Alright, so we're going to play Assassin's Trophy on the Siege Gang. We'll definitely take the action there. They're going to attack with Galta for sure. Right now we have 5, 6, 7, 8 power on the board. We can't do anything with that. So we just have to take 12. Alright, so we have to kill them this turn. I don't think we can. Let's see, if we attacked all out, they would probably block here and one of the tokens. We would get in for 5, that's 8. We can't do anything other than... I think we just have to play Siege Gang Commander to get more bodies out there. And the Fanatical Firebrand. I don't think that's enough though. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Maybe. Maybe it is. We'll see. Alright, Nullhide Ferox. Alright, so they're attacking with Galta. We have to kill it. So if we did... Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eight, 9, 10, 11. Oh, no, I think we have to... Let's keep this back. Go here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alrighty, so that was pretty bad for us, but it's what we had to do. We are at 5. We're at 6. We have 1 blocker, a shock, and a fight with fire. I think we just have to pass the turn. There is another Nullhide Ferox. Alright, so we definitely have to block here. And then we will shock here. And then we will activate here. And we'll take 5. Alright, so a Goblin Instigator. I guess we'll have to play out the Instigator. We can't target any of these guys. And the fight with fire is not big enough anyway. I think this is it. We'll go to blocks. We'll block the 2 Feroxes. And that'll be it. Alright, so this hand is a little slow as well. We are on the play. We have Fight with Fire, Legion Warboss, Volley Veteran, Siege Gang Commander. Those are all good curve intos here. If we had one of our 2-drops, I would snap keep this. This makes it a little iffy though. I think I'm still going to keep it. Alright, so there's a Llanowar Elf from our opponent. And another Siege Gang Commander. That's not what we wanted to see. Alright, so they're attacking with their Elf. That means that we don't have to worry about something like a turn 2 Steely Champion or anything like that. It also, since they're green-white, we're coast is clear for removal. Unless they Luminous Bonds us here. History of Benalia is pretty good. We can Volley Veteran this Knight. Then we'll attack with everything. Alright, so they decide to take it. They're going to get another Knight this turn. Alright, so there's a Hieromancer's Cage on our Warboss. I think I'm going to Fight with Fire this Knight. And then it kind of makes the History of Benalia worthless next turn because they don't have any Knights in play. And next turn we can either go wide with Siege King Commander or go wide with Legion Warboss. Alright, so there's a Luminous Bonds on our Volley Veteran. And a Luminous Bonds on our 2/2 token. Let's play out this Firebrand. Let's play out this Legion Warboss. We'll go to combat. We'll attack, and attack for 3. Alright, so there's a Benelish Marshal. Other creatures they control get +1/+1, so this Llanowar Elf is now a 2/2. And our opponent decided that they can't beat our board. Alright, so we're on the play. We have 2 lands, we have turn 1 play, 2 turn 2 plays, and then 2 options for turn 3 if we draw a land. I think this is a pretty good hand to keep, so let's go ahead and do so. Alright, so we'll lead off with our Firebrand here. We'll get in there for 1. And the Firebrand is so much better than the Skirk Prospector was. Leading off with a Skirk Prospector during my testing games just did not feel good at all. And almost never did I want to sack it or other goblins. So now we have an interesting choice. We can kill their Llanowar Elf so they don't turbo out into anything next turn, and then we can drop one of our 2-drops. Or we can hold back and see if they commit more to the board for our Goblin Chain Whirler. Steel Leaf Champion would be pretty hard for us to beat right now, and I definitely don't want to see that on turn 2. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and kill this elf. And then we'll continue our go-wide strategy with the Goblin Instigator. Alright, so there is a Branch Walker. They got a Titanic Growth. Looks like they're going to leave that on top. So now I think I'm going to Crater Maker. Actually, no, I'm going to Chain Whirler. And then we can still attack through the Branch Walker that way. And then we have the Chain Whirler back to block the Branch Walker if they do decide to get frisky next turn. So they decide to take the 2, then we'll just pass back. They do have a Titanic Growth now to protect their Branch Walker. There's another Branch Walker. And they have a Vine Mare. Vine Mare is pretty good. So I mean, I'll block. I don't know if they have any. Let's just go ahead and get that other Branch Walker off the table while we still can before they get their Titanic Growth online. Alright, so I imagine the Vine Mare is coming this turn. Alright, so we'll go ahead and swing with the Chain Whirler. We'll play another Chain Whirler here. We are going to block with one of our tokens. We don't want to lose a Chain Whirler to a Titanic Growth. Alright, so now we're going to play this Legion War Boss. And unless they have some sort of green instant that maybe a fog effect of some kind. And nope, that's the game. Alright, so 3 lands, 2 instigators, a war boss, and a veteran. I think this is a perfect hand to keep. We can go wide a little bit with our goblins here, and that fills the board for our veteran to clean up afterwards. So let's take this for a spin. Alright, so blue. Looks like we're up against the mono blue aggro deck. This deck shows up a lot on MTG Arena, I'm guessing because it's a fairly cheap deck to build. You don't have to construct many rare cards to go with it. Okay, so now I actually just want one of our removal spells to take care of this Herald while the Storm Tamer is offline. But we didn't draw anything, so I guess we'll have to just go with this Instigator here. Alright, so there's a Warkite Marauder. A Chain Whirler would be really good here too. It doesn't stop the Mistcloak Herald, and they can still get another draw out of it, but I think it's just the best way to go right now. So we can War Boss and just try to go after them. Right now they're on a much faster clock than we are. If we play Firebrand and Instigator, that actually, I think, puts more out there. Lets us go even more wide. And the next turn we can kill just about anything with our Volley Veteran, as long as they tap out from Storm Tamer. So let's do that. Let's play the Firebrand. And attack with everything. Actually, it may have been better to hold back the Firebrand. Then we could have attacked with both, see if they blocked with their Marauder. And if they did, we'll trade off there and then play the Firebrand to kill the Storm Tamer. As it is right now, we still might be killing the Storm Tamer. So there's a Tempest Djinn. So we definitely probably should have killed... Okay, so here's an interesting thought. We'll take 6 next turn, but we can kill both of these, and then Volley Veteran can clean up the Djinn. We'll take maybe 7, actually, if they drop another island. Because if we play Volley Veteran now and target the Djinn, Storm Tamer will just keep it safe. So I think the best bet is just to get those Marauder, those 1 toughness creatures off of there. Alrighty, and then we will. Well, we can't really. I mean, the Tempest Djinn will block any of our guys, so let's just pass it back. I don't know if it's just worth getting in there for 2 and losing a guy. So we are taking 7, going to 3. Unless they drop some more Curious Obsessions or other pump effects. Alright, so there's the 7. They're going to chart a course. So our opponent has drawn a large number of cards this game, much more than we're able to deal with. Well, let's see if we can get that Tempest Djinn off the table. There's an Essence Scatter, and that's going to be game. So we'll just say good game and pack it up. Alright, so this hand I think is perfectly fine to keep. We can clean things up with this shock, we can go a little wide with our instigator, and then clean things up later on with our chain whirlers. Alright, so this hand I think is perfectly fine to keep. We can shock an instigator our first couple of turns, and then clean things up with the chain whirlers, and then hopefully draw some more action along the way. Alright, we can shock the Firebrand, but I'm more interested in shocking something a little bit bigger. So we'll go ahead and take another one from this guy here and see what they play. See, I'd much rather shock this away just so it doesn't get out of hand and out of reach of our chain whirler. So end of the turn, we'll go ahead and kill that. And then we'll play our instigator here. Alright, so now I think we can play one of our chain whirlers. They'll probably kill our instigator here with their Firebrand. Nope, they sent it to our face instead. Let's just go ahead and attack here. Alright, so there is a lava runner. I think I'm going to hold back the other chain whirler and just use this lightning strike. Go ahead and get in there for 5. And right now, I don't want to see another land off the top of our deck. There's still 18 in there, so still quite a few for us to draw. Alright, so a lightning strike on our chain whirler. That's fine. Looks like our opponent is still stuck on 2 lands. We're drawing too many. And we'll go ahead and pass the turn back. So at this point, we got them to 10, and we've drawn so many lands that it's possible we draw a fight with fire and just win that way. So let's go ahead and do this again. See where they want to aim it. This time they do kill the instigator. And we'll get in there for 8, or for 1, put him to 8. So now we're drawing lots of lands. And eventually our opponent is going to draw out of their land screw with all of these cards in hand. So we need to try to apply as much pressure as possible. But we do have them below 10, and with all the lands we have, if we can ever get to a fight with fire... Oh, interesting. So they're going to discard everything. So there is the fight with fire, and they've decided they've had enough. So they were... Alright, so this hand is not keepable. We have 5 lands, and then a Firebrand, and a Volley Veteran, and nothing in between. So we definitely have to throw this one back. Here we have 1 land, and a bunch of our bigger, more threatening spells. But I don't think a 5-card hand can get better than this. So let's just go ahead and keep and see how we do. There is a land, and we will definitely keep that on top. So we're going to start off with our Firebrand here. Alright, so we'll attack with our Firebrand again. pass back. Alright, so a bishop soldier, we're pretty much going to kill anything that our shock will allow us to. So let's go ahead and kill that. Didn't draw a land, so we'll have to continue in with the firebrand here. There's an Ajani Pridemate. I think we have to drop the War Boss here and go to combat. And if they block, we can actually kill it with the Firebrand. This is a card we definitely want to kill if we can. They decide not to because we have the Firebrand. So as long as it doesn't grow twice, if we draw a land, we can kill it next turn. So the Primate grew once. Alright, so we don't have much in the way of action here. I think I'm going to attack I think we're just going to attack with everything. We have another War Boss. And we'll pump one of the tokens. Alright, so they did take the bait and they're going to block there and there. Alright, so let's play this Crater Maker here and finish off the Pridemate. I'm a little surprised they didn't try to kill the War Boss. Alright, so there's an Epicure of Blood. We're taking 2 from the Bloodletter here. Alright, so there is a... Alright, so we're just going to attack with this 1. It goes to 3, now we can volley Veteran it away. Alright, so there's a Resplendent Angel. This Trastmaster is going to allow us to go over the top of that. Now any of our creatures kills it. I imagine they have to block something here. Alright, so they're going to block the Volley Veteran. And it puts them down to 4. I'm holding back this land because we already have enough in play, and just in case they have some sort of just discard effect that makes us get rid of something, I'd rather get rid of a mountain instead of the War Boss. Alright, so they got 3 lifelinking tokens here. Alright, so I think I'm going to play this other... And we'll pump up one of these guys. I don't think you can multi-block and live. Yep. So now they're down to 1, so anything off the top like a shock or lightning strike or a goblin chain whirler wins without even having to attack. But either way, we have a pretty big board presence unless they cleansing Nova here. But even if they cleansing Nova, I think we're still in a decent shape. Yep. So that puts them to 5. The Pride Mate gets a little bigger. I don't think it matters. And that's the game. Alright, so with this hand we have Shock and Fight with Fire and Chain Whirler to clean up. War Boss is going to be our main win condition here. I don't think... I would much rather have one of our 2-drops in our hand, maybe an Instigator. An Instigator would be really good, but I don't think going down to 6 is going to be worth it just to try to find that. These cards are perfectly fine, so let's keep. We'll lead off with our Mountain and hold back Shock. Alright, so there's a Volley Veteran, so we'll just play a Mountain and pass back. Alright, so there is a Pyromancer. I am going to Chain Whirler, I think. It deals with that threat on the other side, and is a threat of our own. We could hold back to get more value out of it, but on turn 3 I want to go ahead and start building our own board up. Alright, so there's a Lava Runner. And Wizard's Lightning on our Chain Whirler, that's fine. Let's go ahead and shock the Lava Runner. And then play out our War Boss here. And attack for 1. And now Volley Veteran's really good because we have lots of goblins out at the moment. Alright, they're going to shock our War Boss. Alright, Instigator. So let's go ahead and attack. And then play out Instigator to get more goblins on the field for our Volley Veteran. And pass back. Okay, I was going to say, I thought they were lightning striking our token, and I was like, I am perfectly fine with that. If that's how they feel they have to win the game, then so be it. And I think we just keep playing out our lands and holding back our removal spell. Even though this is a creature, I want to get full value out of it. And it looks like they're on the try to kill us with burn plan. And eventually, if we keep drawing lands, these Fight with Fires become win conditions. Alright, so there is a Chain Whirler. That's unfortunate because it means that we can't Volley Veteran it away. Hmm. I think I'm going to Trash Master and pass back. And we're not going to block. There is a Firebrand. We have a Firebrand of our own. Now I think... Actually, you know what? Let's Firebrand and then Veteran's Volley. See if we can get rid of that Chain Whirler. And then now I think we can attack all the way through. There's a Chain Whirler. Doesn't do anything on this board except for hit us for 1. Alright, let's see if we can fight with fire this Chain Whirler away. And then we'll go to attacks. I am assuming it's going to go to our face, because they can't kill anything with it. Alright, so now we have them at 1, so any of our burn spells or Goblin Chain Whirler does the trick, and our opponent just sees that there's nothing they can do about it, so good game. Alright, so we went 7-2 with that Goblin list. Hopefully you can see some of the power that the deck has. During my testing it can be inconsistent a little bit at times, but I do feel like there's a lot of potential here with it, and it's possible that we can fine-tune it a little more and make it a little more efficient. We didn't really see many control decks in that particular run. Sometimes the Goblin deck can struggle with that. We also didn't see any sideboarded games. Since the last wipe, there haven't been any sideboarded constructed events. It's all been just one-game matches. So maybe when that gets going again, we can load it up and see how the sideboard does as well. But I hope you enjoyed this video this week and enjoyed running our Goblins out there. It's good to see them back in the standard format and having a lot of fun burning people away with them. But in the meantime, if you like what you saw, just hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us.